Hello and welcome to Baby That's Kant, Traitors Edition. I'm Kip.
And I'm Joseph. Let's
Today
dive
we're
in.
covering, well, I didn't say what we're covering. We're covering Traitors Season 4 finale and reunion. Let's dive in. The water is lovely.
Is it, or is it full of sharks and
It's
snakes?
both, but it's a nice temperature.
Ooh, sunny Southern California.
Yes.
Okay, well, the episode opens with the murder in front of everyone. I think we're running out of names to call these things.
Yes.
Because technically, this is like the murder in plain sight, but whatever. So they're all standing in front of the castle, ready to like absolutely go insane at this point. And Alan reveals that Mark was the one who was murdered. What did you think? Like, is that the right person?
I still think splitting up Tara and Johnny was the better move, but it seemed like Mark was suspicious of Eric, the most outwardly suspicious of Eric, and so I
Yeah,
feel like that's why they chose him.
I kind of agree. I do. I agree with you in that, in both senses. Like, I feel like it's stupid to not break up Tara and Johnny because that's like a solid two vote pack, no matter
I
what.
agree.
Um, but I
The
think he
problem
knew.
with them is like they weren't that strategic. It would have worked if one of those two could credibly be smart enough to handle that, but I just don't think anyone would have believed it based on how the game went.
Yeah, because I think Rob knew it's going to be two versus two, and he knew he had Mora in his back pocket. So in that way, I think Mark is the right choice. It just feels so wild to leave Tara and Johnny like in the game like that.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting because it's like it just depends if he thought he could get to the end with three and finish the game with three. Because he could have kept Mark, got rid of one of the two of them, and then
And
tried
let
to end
Mark.
the game with Mark, Mora, and himself and win. And maybe he didn't think that was possible.
Yeah, it just seems like Mark was like Mark was the one who had the most idea of what was going on that was left in the game.
Yes.
So maybe that was best to eliminate him.
Yeah, I agree with that. But he also seemed like he didn't seem like he was that onto Rob. He was more onto Eric. So
Yeah, but it's like Eric. Well, I guess you don't know for sure because traders can turn on each other. But I think Rob knew Eric was like a ride or die with him, like as a fellow trader. So
yeah,
you want to keep them for the best chance at the end, I guess.
yeah. No, they were definitely like a voting block together, and there was no signs of Eric turning on him. So
Yeah. Okay. Well, so Mark allegedly gets in the box. I feel like he wasn't really in there. And then Alan lights the ring on fire.
the ring
Um,
on fire was scary.
yeah, I feel like it would be too dangerous to have him in there. And there's no reason for him to really be in there.
Yeah,
But it would be fun. Probably be super
it
hot.
looks pretty.
um,
Well,
on his
it seemed like it was
way,
kind of far away.
yeah, I don't know. I just think it's for safety reasons. It's probably easier just to not really have him in there.
Yeah,
So on his way out, Mark says he would put his money on Eric. And it does seem like the last three eliminated people all were clocking Eric and or Rob.
yeah.
So
No, the walls are closing in for sure. It's just, are they closing in time?
yeah, it's just like they are getting the right people out, is what it seems to
Yeah,
be.
I
So
agree. I thought it was so funny though, like Rob saying like "Love you, man," and then Eric being like "Miss you."
yeah,
He just like
I don't even
can't.
know what
He
you
can't.
say. it's like I think you've run out of like, oh no way reactions by this point,
I know.
and especially because
I think you just have to be
everybody,
like frustrated. Like, ugh,
it's just
Dad.
crazy. Like with 5 people left and 2 of them are traitors, like I would be so mad. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Um,
agree. I do think though that like they got rid of three traitors. It's there is a chance that they thought there was only one left.
maybe. Wait, who were the 3? Lisa, Candace.
And Donna, secret
Oh,
traitor.
yeah. I don't really count that, but
I know, but they do. They got three out.
yeah, that did put a little twist on it. That helped probably the
Yeah,
traitors this season.
I know.
Okay, well, breakfast. They enter one by one. Um,
Just like the ends.
yeah, and Eric is first, and I thought he looked super cute in his outfit with his little boots.
Yeah, I liked them too.
He says he's too nice to be a traitor and can't believe he's still here. Then Mara, Queen of Hats, comes in, and she looks so cute, I think.
Yeah, it was a funny hat again.
It was a little big for her head, but it was a cute hat, I think.
I agree.
Um,
Um, Later on, she wears like the huge flat hat.
yeah,
I saw someone digitally shrink it to like tiny on her head. I thought it was funny.
funny. She says it takes her a long time to trust people because she's been cheated on too many times.
It's really
And
sad.
I know, I feel bad for her. I mean, that feeling only escalates more and more throughout the episode.
Okay, I do too, but like when you're dating people you met on a reality show, just like the odds of them cheating on you are statistically higher than Gen Pop.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this before, I think, which is like maybe in private, but it's like someone said, like, if you are with somebody who is hot, successful, or popular, they are going to sleep with other people. And maybe she should start doing that.
I mean, at this point, yeah.
Yeah. I do think lesbian arc incoming is possible.
Oh my god, she's gonna join Gabby Windy in a throuple.
Yes. And Chriselle, well, she's bisexual, but whatever. I still count that on part of the same team.
Well, yes.
So in confessional, Mara says, I do think Tara is a faithful, which is good intuition. Nice to count those ones for her.
Yes.
Rob comes in wearing a yellow and red t-shirt, which is very Rush Poppers coded.
It is, but it said like Nice, France, 1990 or something.
Yeah, it was like a wine shirt or something, which is weird to me.
Yeah. Where do you
Um,
get things like that?
Amazon. I don't know.
Sad.
Rob tells Eric and Mara, Johnny, then Tara, no matter what. It's like getting them out. Like that's the plan.
Yeah.
So basically, the
Yeah. I think
episode,
that should be so suspicious to her too. Like we've talked about this before, but him having like a plan or a strategy to get to the end is just like it's it should have been the giveaway at this point to these people.
yeah, I think she needs to have more confidence in herself because she's feels like she's letting them steamroll their way through.
Oh, 100%. No, she's being told what to do and I don't know. Used is
Yeah,
maybe the wrong word, but like yeah.
agreed. So basically, the episode's going to come down to whichever side she chooses. If she goes with Tara and Johnny, then the faithfuls will win, and if she goes with Rob and Eric, then Traitors will win.
Yes.
So Johnny comes in next, and I wrote here like I think not murdering him was a mistake. We already talked about that. Tara comes in. She says, I really doubt myself because I've been wrong so many times. And it's like, well, yes.
Likely thing for her to be.
But in this game, statistically, you're very likely to be wrong many times. That doesn't mean you should doubt yourself, especially at the end where you've now spent 3 weeks with these people. Your gut feelings really should be clocking. Like, it should be locking in now, I think.
I agree with that.
Um, Rob says him and Mark were very trusted amongst the group and that it was like a 50-50 chance that he would get murdered or Mark did. And it seems like people aren't really caring or buying that, but could be shady editing.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think that would work that well.
Yeah. So then Alan enters and he says what I think is the worst death line of all time,
Oh, I
even
didn't
worse
hate it
than
that much.
the steak one. He said, "Oh, Mark, you may have danced with the stars, but you didn't quite have the footwork for the Traitors tango."
I didn't hate that one.
It's just so long winded for the payoff.
It was long winded, but at least you didn't have to know how cooking works.
It's just like you
Something
could have
almost nobody
said,
knows.
"You may have danced with the stars, but you couldn't survive the Traitors tango." Like, that just sounds better to me.
Yeah.
But you know
Or
what?
like, the you may have danced with the stars, but you landed amongst the moon. I don't know.
Yeah, or you may have danced with the stars, but now you're beneath the ground, or like, I don't know.
Oh yeah, that's good.
I'm begging Traitors production and writing staff to let me on the team. Like, just give me one day and I'll give you ideas, please.
Okay.
But also, I love you so much. You're doing great. Okay, so the prize pot is now $180,800 with one more mission. And Alan says
That's
at
also
the
like not that much money. Like if you have to split three
plus
ways,
tootsies plus taxes.
oh, they'd be absolutely taken.
Yeah,
I think you have to pay Irish tax too, right?
I don't know how it works, to be honest.
And you have to pay American,
Well,
and they do
maybe I'll
too.
find out.
Maybe.
um, okay, so Alan says at the next round table, the banished identity will not be revealed. And many were surprised by this. However,
Many,
I was
including
not.
me. I was even shocked.
I know. Um, so, yeah, there's 5 people
I also don't
left.
think going to Final Fire with four makes sense. Like in this game, at that point, it probably was two versus two. So it's like, or there was a real chance for two versus two. So it's like, because if Eric had gone, it then would have been Rob and Mora versus Johnny and Tara, and then it would have been deadlocked.
Maybe that's why they didn't. I don't know.
Yeah. And then I wonder if Johnny and Tara, they probably wouldn't have because they didn't seem conniving. But I wonder if they would have then voted Mora out, even though they knew she was a faithful and then took the money for themselves.
I don't know. I mean, essentially, one more roundtable plus final fire just like is the same thing, anyways. So it's like doesn't really matter. But they do the mission first, which really just serves as like gaslighting Mora even more, or like not gaslighting her, but kind of. She like basically gets to spend the whole day with Rob, which is like a little shady to me.
Well, that's what they needed to do. Well, first off, Mora was so excited to get into this helicopter. Like she was
Yeah,
screaming about it. So that just was what it was. I don't think Tara and Johnny or Eric, none of them seemed that eager to get into it.
yeah.
Like I don't think they were fighting for that spot.
But they also didn't let her ride in the car with anybody else on the way home, which was an opportunity for others to talk with her.
Oh, I didn't notice that. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But it is what like Rob and Eric needed to do because then Eric they already suspect is a traitor, so he's with Tara and Johnny, and nothing else can happen. And then Rob is keeping Mora away from them. It was smart for their gameplay.
Yeah. Okay, so post breakfast, Johnny says that Eric and Rob are the traitors. Yes. Like they have such an advantage of them like being paired for sure and trusting each other.
Yeah.
He says Eric is too under the radar, and Candace left them a breadcrumb by voting Rob twice. And I was like, where has this been the last 4 episodes? Because we already been new.
Yeah.
Um,
It was
he
annoying
took,
because they were always sort of talking about it, but they were never like nobody was ever willing to go all in on this as an argument and risk it. They were just like hoping someone else would, or just like think like not realizing like you're running out of time.
yeah, that is kind of the theme. Is like if they had really latched on last episode, it could have been a whole different finale. But they kind of let it
Yeah.
flop when they let Natalie go.
Yeah. No,
Um,
there was like a lot of missed opportunity this season for sure.
if they would have backed Natalie, I think it would have been a whole different situation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I still understand. She was suspicious to me at times.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure everybody is like because in this game, you literally have to. You can't trust anyone
Yeah. No, it's true.
unless they're Rob. Okay. He tells Tara that they're coming for them and that they need to win Mara over to their side. Mara asks if it's just one of them uh, to Eric. If it's like, is it only just Tara or just Johnny? And Eric says when they started together, they were apart, but now they're playing super close together. And I think he's implying that one of them recruited the other, which does come up later in the episode.
Yeah, I
I
think
think
that's
that's
right.
just too compelling of a story to ignore. Like I feel like that's what sealed it for Mara being on their side.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's so interesting too. I wonder looking back at them what they missed, like what they think they should have picked up on.
Yeah. I'm curious if they've done any post interviews. Like I saw Ron Funches posted like his tell
That
all.
clip, yeah.
I didn't have time to
Oh,
watch
was it
it
a tell
yet.
all?
Like he just posted it like yesterday, I think.
Oh, I just saw the video of him dancing with the overalls.
No, I didn't see that. I'm
Oh, it's
curious
really
to see.
funny. You'll like it.
Yeah. Where was I? Okay, so Rob says he built a relationship with Mara the entire game and he really needs it to pay off here at the end, which, yes. Johnny and Tara walk in. Tara asks to talk with Mara privately. She says that
Wait, are we at the challenge or we finished the challenge?
no, this is still before.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I have things to say about the
Sorry.
challenge.
Yeah. um, so Tara says she knows Johnny is a faithful, but they don't know about Eric. Says he doesn't ever commit, never says a name. And Mara says she's never voted for Tara and not planning on it. Remember that.
Yeah. No, the Eric thing was he never talked and he never had any theories, and it's just like you have to try.
Yeah, I think that works at the beginning, but it doesn't work at the end.
Yeah, no, it definitely works at the beginning.
Yeah. So here I wrote this episode's theme is Tara finally understanding the importance of numbers and sticking to your vote.
Yes, a little too late.
Yes. Now that she needs a vote for her. Okay. So now the mission. I'll explain the rules, but I did not like the mission.
Yeah, it was
So
boring.
Alan says he needs 2 volunteers to get in the helicopter, which I think just appears to be the finale gimmick every time now. Um, Mara says, I'm getting in that. She's very excited.
Yes.
And Rob says, I'm going to, and nobody else really seemed to care. He says he really needs to seal the deal with Mara. So he gives them a box to take on the helicopter, and the rest go down to the lock. Um, on the helicopter, did you clock? Rob has his arm around her, and he says, I
Oh
couldn't be
yeah.
happier, which is cute.
This was, yeah, this was when I knew that Mora was going with him because he put on the full like situationship squeeze. Like this is the
Yeah,
moment you think you're gonna get him, and it's the moment you'll look back on and go, "That a fucker."
yeah. And it reminds me of like, did you ever see like posts back on online back in the day of like, take your first date like bungee jumping or to an amusement park because the adrenaline spikes and then you like bond better. It's like that's all I kept thinking about with this mission
That's
is that
funny. I
it
don't
really
remember
was going to
that.
lock them in together.
In theory, it's like a fun concept, but it's like those are like 4 to 8 hour activities, and I just can't commit to that if I don't think I like you even like a little. I'm not sure that I like you.
Yeah, I don't think it's really good for practical date advice, but um,
So little is.
I think it works for a TV show, Showmance.
Yes, absolutely.
So Rob says this is great because Tara and Johnny can't get into her head, so she's going to be with him all day, which is, I think, a very smart strategy.
Yeah.
On the way to the lock, Tara asks Eric if he has suspicions of Rob and Mara and says, "Do you trust Mara?" And Eric doesn't really seem to answer. And he just gives his usual, like, he said, like, I used to have some thoughts about them, but now I don't know. And Tara just kind of like looks at the camera, like, hmm.
Yeah. No, it's just like he did not do a good job at like anything this season.
He did a good job at being a meat shield.
Yeah, and he looked cute like every episode.
Yeah, he does have more like blunders, notable blunders, than notable wins, which is not a good ratio.
Correct.
It was funny though, I'll give him that. He did make some funny moments.
No, he was funny. A lot of times he would like the funniest moment to me was when he was so sure that he heard the footsteps and knew the laugh and was wrong
Yeah,
both times. Like those were iconic.
agreed.
The laugh was the funniest
Um,
because he's a musician, so you're supposed to train your ear.
yeah, but some people could laugh similar.
I know. I'd have to be so careful with my laugh on this show.
Yeah, you couldn't. You'd have to put a tape over your mouth.
I think I would need to be a faithful. I don't think I'd be a great trader.
I feel like faithful is such a harder way to play, though.
Yeah, it is. I just don't know. I'm not like a great liar, and I'm not a great like actor.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's just not your game to play.
Maybe.
Okay, so Mara tells Rob that Tara wanted her to go for Eric. And Mara says, "We're not that stupid to think that Eric isn't a traitor." And Rob kind of looks sad a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think he was planning to betray Eric the whole time? I feel like he had to have been.
I think that's always the goal, right? Like you don't want to share your money if you don't absolutely have to.
Yeah.
So, I think he was always looking for an opportunity to do so. But I do think at the end of the day you would rather win and split it than lose. So, I think he was willing to keep Eric if he absolutely had to.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think also if Eric was there from the beginning, it's maybe a little different. But since he got recruited, maybe you don't care as much about them winning with you.
Well, and then for Rob, this isn't the case with everyone, but Eric knew fucking nothing. Rob had to teach him everything and do everything. Like, Eric
Yeah.
got carried to the end, as did Mora. Like, neither one of them deserves to win.
He didn't even know how to put his hood on properly.
Correct.
But that did
Like,
make
not
a
a single
cute
content
TV
at
moment.
all. Yes. No, that was probably my favorite, 15 minutes of the show, maybe.
It was funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so the actual game, back to the game. On the lock, there's 4 pontoons with chests, and they're sealed with a question, not a kiss. um, Rob and Mara each have key cards that were in the chest that Alan gave them, and each of the cards has a player's name and photo on it. These are going to be the choices to answer the questions with, and they will have to drop the answer down to the team below attached to a buoy. Each buoy has a dollar amount on it, and it's like some are worth more than others. There's like four from low to high. Um, so when they choose to answer a question, they'll have to bet the dollar amount based on how confident they are that that's the right answer. So you can maximize your winnings.
Yes.
So I wrote that I think this is a dumb mission. Like, who cares at this point in the game?
Yeah, but right, it wasn't going to have any impact on the gameplay. But they needed more money because that price pot was low.
The only way it impacted was the splitting of the people, essentially.
Yeah.
I feel like at this point in the game, the mission needs to be trust related or something that's going to like make a traitor slip up. And this was kind of just like filler to me.
Yeah, it's where I mean the challenges have always been the weakest part of the show, and they did a better job this season at making them impactful and more interesting. But it's clear that there's still more work to be done.
I feel like they need to take some things from the mole where like I feel like there needs to be a way for the traders to do things during the missions that benefit them only, that's going to like add more drama and eventfulness. Like if there's no shields around, there needs to be something else happening that adds stakes, you know?
Yeah, there needs to be a reverse shield, a double dagger, if you will, of like if faithfuls, if you do X, then like there will be no murder tonight. If you do X before the traders do Y, there will be no murder tonight. But traders, if you do Y before they do X, there will be double murder.
Yeah. I agree. Or like a bonus for a trader pot or something that like is going to be tempting, you know?
Yeah, I like that too. I think the problem is like the game is already so stacked in favor of the traders that like the faithful have to. And again, like you cannot win. Like faithfuls can only win with two or more people, but probably three. So they're already splitting the prize pot 2 to 3 ways, and the traders almost never have to split it. So it's already so like fucked.
But I think if you have three faithfuls at the end, you you still try to get people out.
Yeah, but like, at the most you can get is one more. You still have to split it in half.
Yeah, but still. Um, okay. Anyway, so I'll just go through the questions and answers. So the questions in the mission were which player was the last to have a cotton put in their grave at the first mission? If you're playing at home, the answer is Mark. Who sat opposite the murdered player at the Black Banquet? That was Colton.
And we see a flashback to him, and he looked so ugly in that awful fucking beaded thing. It was really funny.
It's actually crazy how little screen time they gave him in that outfit. It's because they knew.
They did know. I would bet 99% that they edited after all this went down.
Yeah. And in fact, I'm sure they did edit after it was
I just mean that
filmed.
they changed their edit after the backlash towards him
Yeah,
came out.
agree. He got sherry pied. What is the name?
Cream pie?
No, although probably. It was like that drag queen that was on one of the RuPaul seasons that they edited out
Sherry
the entire
pied.
season.
Yes, sherry pied. Yes, good one. I sounded like
Thank
you said
you.
cherry pied.
Well, there's a drag queen named like Cherry Vine or Sherry Vine, and I always get that mixed up. And I don't
I
want
think they're both
to,
sherry vine and cherry
yeah,
pie.
I don't want to besmirch her name by getting it
Of
wrong.
course
So,
not. Not until we know what crime she's committed.
yeah. Okay, so at this point in the game, it starts raining, and the boat people look absolutely miserable.
That was the funniest part of the mission was that.
Yes, and Eric is saying that the helicopter is like whipping it all around in their faces and stuff, like it's a storm. And there's
Okay,
like a
and
hilarious
Jamie.
shot of him on the boat, like So that was funny.
So funny. Yes.
So the last two questions are which player started and ended on a shield thrown at the second mission. That was Caroline, which seems like so long ago. The fourth question is which housewife has received the most overall votes, and that's obviously Lisa. So we get a cut back to the helicopter, and Mara says, "Oh, I'd love a hot bath right now." And Rob says, "I can get you something hot."
Oh my god, I missed that.
Oh, how did you miss that? So she kind of laughs at him. It's like unclear to me if she's really like flirting with him or not. On the reunion, she says no, but let's be honest, Mara.
I don't believe it. I think she was single. I just think too he probably has good charisma in person. I think like spending that much time alone and you're discussing strategy and whatever. I can't imagine there wasn't 5% attraction at a minimum, if not like a lot.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, so the boat group gets back to Alan, and they're standing there like wet dogs out in the rain, like shivering, which is hilarious because he's standing under a little umbrella. They're just
Oh
like
my
dying.
that was so funny. And like when oh you're probably gonna say this part. When they announced that one there's another way to get prize money, they like cut to them in the helicopter and then they cut back to them looking so miserable and cold. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's like, couldn't we get them a blanket or something?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
the mission was still like ongoing in theory.
yeah. So there's 5 minutes left on the timer. Alan says there's an extra 20K if someone jumps off the helicopter into the freezing cold lock, gets the key, swims back to shore, and unlocks the chest in time. There's literally no way this is physically possible to do in 5 minutes. However,
I agree.
I will explain why as we get to the play-by-play.
Okay.
Because I spent a lot of time on this. Okay, so Rob jumps in and they make it seem like he was literally underwater for 13 seconds. I timed it.
Oh, I
That
wanted to
sounds
do that, and I'm
fake.
glad you did.
That has to be fake.
I the only thing I'll say is like the helicopter was high. Like that was a long jump, and he probably did go really deep.
But he
But
was
13
also
seconds
wearing
seems
a
long.
life vest, and I feel like that's too long to send someone underwater for. Like they would have calculated better.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. Especially when Mar was like, I can't even swim. So like if you get someone who's not good with water that tries to do it, they could like die.
Oh, that was what I was gonna say. Is she's like, "Oh, I can't swim, can't be me." It's like, okay, sure. Like, I absolutely say that anytime I don't want to do anything water related. Like, oh, I'm
She's
not a
like,
good swimmer.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not a good swimmer. It's like, do you want to risk that? Like, no. And I'm not a
Yeah.
great swimmer, but I can swim.
I would have done it. But I also think when the water is so cold, your inclination is to like breathe in. Like I don't know if you've ever jumped into like really cold water, but it's super hard to control your breathing. So I think if you're sending someone under 13 seconds of freezing cold water, like they could die.
Yeah.
So I just
Guess
feel like that's
what? I have.
unrealistic. Um, okay, so at 2 minutes left on the clock, he gets to the buoy, and then he has 2 minutes and 38 seconds to get to the dock and run up to Alan. And then there's more shots of the others shivering and freezing to death. And now the clock skips to like 15 seconds left, and you see Rob climb out of the dock, and he's missing a shoe. And this is like 50 yards away from the chest. They still show him
Yeah.
at 13 seconds left running on the dock. And then, literally 1 second on the clock later, they show him coming around the bush 10 feet away from them. And then, or sorry, at 11 seconds. And he's right in front of them. And then he puts the things on and he unlocks it just in time. It's like super lazy editing or it's fake. So, which is it?
It's probably fake. I think there's just no chance they weren't going to give them that money, given that he jumped in the helicopter. Like that's obviously the bad part.
But I just like they should have made the timer better then. I don't know. It just feels like a miss to me.
No, the right way to do it would have been like they should have done a test run and timed how long it actually takes. If it took someone 12 minutes, then they should have given them like an
More
extra,
time. Yeah.
yeah, and then used the real timer and made it actually good TV.
Or even like, we're going to give you 10 extra minutes. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
If you
Like we're
choose to
adding 10
do
more minutes
it.
to the clock.
Yeah. So, anyways, he gets it just in time. They made it. Fireworks. Mara's like flipping around in the helicopter. um, they all get to go back to the house. So again, they're split. Johnny, Eric, and Tara in one car, and Rob and Mara in the other car. And Mara says Eric, and she's like really onto Eric, and she thinks another traitor is either one of Johnny and Tara. Well, she's half right. And Rob says it's still a possibility that both Johnny and Eric are traitors. And he says, unless something crazy happens, we are going to win. And she's like, yes.
Yes.
I feel so bad.
I do too.
It's just like, girl,
But
you
you know,
got
funny,
what?
Monet was on Las Culturistas. I didn't actually listen to it, but I saw a clip. She said that Mora had not seen an episode of the show, knew nothing about what she had signed up for. Not a single thing.
That's
So,
tracks.
yeah, it does track. But it does, again, mean that, like, it's very fair that you didn't win because you didn't, preparation, mama. Let's research.
Well, she did prepare, just did a different way. She got the outfits.
No.
I think
It's
she
prepared
did
for
what
the
she
game.
came to do, to be honest.
But then I mean, yes, and she did seem upset that she thought she was gonna win.
Yeah, I mean, I like no spoilers. We'll get there.
Well, if you're watching this and you haven't watched the show, like,
What are you
I
doing?
explain.
Yeah, okay. I feel like she
America,
would
explain.
be. I think she would be more upset that she just was betrayed by Rob, like versus not winning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, obviously losing sucks, but getting played like that for 3 weeks by someone like that feels shitty. Okay, so they get back to the house, and it's Johnny and Tara talking, and Tara says, "We don't waver now," and I'm like, "Girl, it's too late for you. You wavered last week, and now your fate is sealed."
yes,
So Johnny thinks Mara is going to go for one of them, and Tara goes to talk to Mara again, and she's like, "We have to get Eric." And Mara says, "We've got this far. We're not stupid." Um, and I'm not saying she's stupid, but I do think she doesn't know what's going on.
I'm just not gonna comment.
I think I don't understand. I feel like Tara made some critical errors in this episode. Like, I think she had a chance and she didn't fight for it. Like, if she knew Mara was on Eric, she really needed to convince Mara to vote Eric at this roundtable. And then they would have had 3 versus 2, and they would have got Eric out. And then they'd be going into Final Fire with both Tara and Johnny, and possibly Mara again.
Yeah,
So I feel like she
no,
really
I
messed up
agree.
here.
I agree, and like again, she did do her best version of talking to Mora, but there was a better version to be done there of like telling the story of Rob and Eric, which I think they did have it figured out, and they didn't try to convince her how they'd done it. They were just more focused on Eric, and I think that would have been their only chance is to like those two are running the show. It's like it's 3 versus 2. We can get them out. We can win.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Rob has a confession, and he says he can tell that Mara is lying to Eric, that she trusts him, and that he also sees her doing the same thing to him too. So I think Rob is like losing his mind in the paranoia here.
A little bit.
It is crazy. Like, imagine being so close to winning, like literally hours away, and your fate is just in the hands of someone else.
I mean, that's always true, but I do think I'd be really nervous there in a different way than like in Survivor. If you're in the final three, you get to plead your case to the jury and you get to answer questions. So I would still be nervous, but I'd feel good about it because it's mostly in my hands. In this
Yeah,
game, it's just like fuck.
it's just truly gaslight game. Keep Girl Boss, the TV show.
Yes.
Okay, so we get to the round table. Johnny says they have to get Eric out. Rob says he and Eric have to stay. And Mara is stuck in between the two groups and says she doesn't know what to do. So Alan comes in. He once again says, from this point forward, banished players will not reveal their identities. So whoever gets banished, we and the players will not know if they are a traitor or not. So Eric opens up the table and he tries to play it like he's the odd one out, which I thought was interesting. So he's like, you two are the two Olympians, and you two are the Love Islands, and I'm like the faithful stuck in the middle. And I think it's either Tara or Johnny. So he starts throwing their names out. Rob and Johnny, or say, Rob says Johnny and Tara weren't close most of
Well,
the
and it was like the
game.
first time Eric ever said anything. It was like so interesting, but he didn't do a good job at it.
Yeah, it just is suspicious to be super quiet and then to finally start throwing out a name.
Like at the end, I know.
It would have been better, I think, for him to like wait for them to say his name and then go off. At least he's consistent.
I
But
agree.
at this point, it really doesn't matter because it all just comes down to Mara, and they've been strategizing in secret, anyways.
Yeah.
Like the three of them. So Rob pulls that story again, saying Johnny and Tara weren't close most of the game, and now they are super close, which is weird and suspicious. I think, again, implying that there was a recruitment. Johnny says he knows it's not Tara, and that if there's two traitors left, it has to be between Rob, Eric, and Mara, and that he doesn't think it's her at all, which means it absolutely has to be Rob and Eric. That's a huge advantage for Johnny and Tara to be able to have that level of information in the game. Uh, Unfortunately, it does make them look suspicious at the same time that they're so
I
close.
know.
He says, your personality is this. This is you. And Mara's like, yeah, this is me. It's funny. Tara says, no matter what happens, I've loved playing this game with you, Tamara. Johnny and Tara go in on Eric, saying he doesn't commit to anything, he doesn't say anybody's names, and he just waffles around. She says that she really pushed Eric in the car on who he thinks it is, and he said Mara's name. And she gags at that. Um, Rob kind of jumps in to save him, says he's not going to go with his relationships in the game and vote on instincts, which I think is a really good thing to say, to be honest. It's really smart, which kind of aligns with what I said earlier. Like, at this point in the game, knowing you can't trust anybody, you just have to go with your gut.
Yeah.
Um, if you're paying attention, that should make Rob look suspicious. Like trying to sound like the smart, reasonable, trustworthy person to steer everybody to safety. That should be
Yeah.
suspicious, but it's not
I
clocking.
agree. Classic.
He says it would be very interesting if Alan picked either Tara or Johnny to be a traitor at the beginning, and you had to keep that secret from your best friend. And then down the line, you had a chance to recruit, you would obviously pick each other. And that basically lines up with the playing separate and then coming together storyline.
Yeah.
That's just way too big of a hole to dig out of, I think, for
Yeah.
them.
No, I agree.
So I think Rob won the game right there.
Yeah.
Um,
No, it was great. It was like exactly thinking like a producer. It was like exactly. It was perfect. It
yeah,
was inarguable. If you have any suspicion of either one of them, which I think it was fair to have.
yeah. Um, so Alan says if that's it, it's time to vote. So Mara looks like she's going to cry and throw up and doesn't know who to vote for. Eric votes Johnny. Johnny votes Eric. Rob votes Johnny. Tara votes Eric. So it all comes down to Mara. She holds the line with Rob and Eric and votes Johnny. He starts to cry, and Tara looks like so distraught.
I
I felt
know.
really bad for them, even though last episode I said I've had enough.
Well, it was only one night, like literally one night apart.
Yeah. Well, I just mean
Well, they're probably
like,
also not even in the same room, anyways. They're not allowed to be. So it's
yeah.
like, you'll see her tomorrow, Diva.
I just feel bad that they could have had it all and they kind of let it slip away from them.
But they didn't earn it.
And it's like at this point in the game, you're just like truly like lying about people and like throwing them under the bus, and it just like feels bad, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Like Rob and Eric know it's not them and are telling them they're traitors and pushing them out. Like it's got to feel bad.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so Johnny gets banished. He doesn't even get to say a goodbye speech, and he prances his little ass out of there.
I know, but he does insist on giving her a hug, which is like, I don't think it's allowed. But whatever.
I know because he could have whispered something.
Whispered, I know, but I think that
I
would
think
have
it's
been like, I think he
fine.
would have actually got in trouble for that.
Yeah,
But at the same time, like, we did know there was nothing for him that he could share, like, because he
yeah,
wasn't a traitor, so it's just like, whatever.
I agree. So post roundtable, Rob says to Mara, "We cannot mess it up. We have to go for Tara." And she says, "Okay, but promise me we'll get Eric out." And then Rob grabs her face and says, "Listen to me. We are going to win this game." And she just like looks so safe and happy in his arms. It kills me inside.
I know, it's manipulation king.
Yes. So Eric knows Mara is suspicious of him. And here I think he should know it's over for him, but it doesn't seem like he
Yeah.
does. Tara tells Mara it's definitely Eric, and she also thinks it's Rob too. And she says that Rob is protecting her, and Mara just like refuses to believe it. I think she needed to tell her again, vote Eric first. Why are we not voting Eric first? If we're both aligned on that, like we could all vote Eric. You know what I mean? All
Yeah.
three of us vote Eric out. But I don't get why she doesn't go down that path.
I just don't think. I think she was piecing parts of it together, but I don't think she had it all figured out, and so she wasn't able to like make the compelling argument.
Yeah. It just
I
feels
mean,
like
she was
that's the
never able
one thing
to
they all
wrest
agree
control from
on
Rob.
is Eric.
Yeah,
So
I know.
it's like Survivor. Like you literally just have to fight for one more day and like everything could change into the next vote, you know? But
I
she's
know, and the other reason they should have done that is like, I mean, spoilers ahead. Like once Eric realizes they're coming for him and he like tries to figure out how to turn on Rob really quickly, like that wouldn't have happened if it had been their first vote out.
yeah, agreed. I also feel like if you're Eric, you have to have a fight ready to go against Rob, like just in case. And he didn't have that really.
Well, that was like everyone this season. It was like, ugh. As a fan of like gameplay and reality TV, like shit like that pissed me off this whole season.
Yeah. I think they need to have all gamer season or all non gamer season. And then like they're
That would be
doing
fun.
now all regular people season. Because like when you're mixing the two together, it's just we keep ending up in this situation where it's like the not the least strategic players are making the finale and kind of taking away the excitement of it all.
Yeah, an all gamer season would be really fun.
Yeah, I agree. We need all stars. Okay. So we get to the final fire with Eric, Tara, Rob, and Mara. Eric says he's nervous and hopes a nice guy can win in the end, which, like, girl, this ain't RuPaul's best friend race. This is the
Correct.
Traitors. Um, it's giving category is drag excellence, and Rob comes in wearing the worst outfit of all time.
What was
Uh,
it?
Overalls with one clipped and a white tank top.
Oh yeah. Oh right. Yes, I know.
He,
We needed a little more wardrobe variety there.
yeah, like, it was a nice tank top. Don't get me wrong. It was like knit. It was like clearly expensive, but like
I
the
actually liked it better.
overalls,
I hated that like farmer outfit with the like, do you know what I'm talking about? I hated the like
the
button up
Fiero.
white check.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly. I liked this better than that for me.
it's just like this is the going home outfit, not the winning the whole show outfit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I read
And
GQ came to his family farm. He actually like lives on a farm and like does cow stuff and like he actually is like a farm boy, which I didn't quite realize. I thought he was just like an Alabama boy.
I mean, it makes sense, but like I'm not wearing my Lululemon shorts and shirt that I wear every day to be in the finale of the Traitors. You know what I mean?
I agree. I just think he's being himself.
Yeah, but this is TV. Like, we need spectacle. That's the whole point of the show.
Well, that's on production.
I agree. Like, at least cinch the overall. Like, do something,
Yeah,
mama.
I know. Or like make him go shirtless.
Yeah. And then Mara walks in, like, looking like the sexiest French Catwoman there is.
She looked so good the whole season. She should be proud of that.
I do think she ate the outfits out of every season. Like,
Yeah,
she was the look queen.
I agree.
Yeah. In more ways than one. Okay, so how it works is all four of them will get to choose to banish or end the game. If one or more people choose to banish, they will vote on who to banish, and someone has to leave. It's unclear how they break ties, but my understanding is like they cannot continue until someone goes, if there is a tie. Then once that's done, they will repeat the process, seeing if anybody wants to banish or end the game. And if they all vote to end the game, it's over. If there are any traitors left at that point, they will split the prize money. And if no traitors are left, then the faithfuls win and split the prize money. So we get to the first vote of to banish or end the game, and everybody votes to banish. I think that's expected. Tara says it's Eric, and she looks at Mara and just says, like, you have to trust me. Turns out she doesn't. So Eric votes for Tara, Rob votes for Tara, Mara votes for Tara. Here I wrote, we were all rooting for you.
Yeah. Well,
I
I wasn't,
really
but
wanted Mara to pull it together at the end here.
it just wasn't possible.
Yeah. And like Tara said that she really thought Mara was going to side with her, which is kind of devastating.
Yeah.
But it was just too late for her. She didn't make the right moves in time. So Tara leaves. We get to the next vote of end the game or banish. Eric votes to end the game. He says, I trust these two and I feel good we're in the final together and I'm ready to end it. And then Mara votes to banish. And she says in confessional, I think Eric thought he had us all fooled. And I think
Yes.
Eric starts to see the writing on the wall here. And then Rob votes to to banish, and then you can see Eric just completely die inside.
Oh my god, no, you see it. Like, fuck. Figured it out.
Eric, I don't feel as bad for because he definitely should have seen this coming.
No, I don't feel bad for Eric at all. No, it's that parable of like the frog and the scorpion, and it's like, why would you sting? I won't sting you. We'll both die. It's like, why'd you sting me? It's like, well, you knew I was a scorpion.
Okay, I've never heard that one before, but
Never? Oh, you're gonna love that.
can't wait to hear it someday. Okay, so there's kind of like a point where they get to talk here, and I don't understand why Eric doesn't just really say it's Rob and that he's been using you, Tamara. Like, I don't get why anybody hasn't said that to her. Like, I guess maybe they don't want to offend her, but like, when it's your last lifeline, like, you have to try it, I think.
No, I know, and but like Mora is trying, like thinking highly of herself. There was a moment earlier where she was saying to someone, and maybe it was Tara, like we are smart. Like there's a reason we made it to the end, or maybe it's to Rob, but it's like yeah, the reason is you're not that smart, and he carried you because he knew he could manipulate you. That's why you're in the end.
Tara did say that he's protecting her, but she didn't say, like, he's using you. I feel
Right.
like it needed to really be spelled out.
I agree. Oh, yes.
Yeah. Um, I also wrote, like, if he would have said that to her, at least she would have been like warned about what's about to happen. So I feel like I would have just done that, doing her a solid. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like soft launching that you're about to be screwed over on
Yeah.
camera royally. Um, I also feel like if Rob was okay to split the money, then he should have they should have just voted Mara out, which would have been way less shitty for her to lose that way versus like thinking she won and like getting betrayed like that.
That was never gonna happen.
Has it ever happened where the traitors have won and like split the money?
Maybe on a non-US season. I'm not sure. But definitely like Suri won and did not split.
I think it would be more likely if it was all regular people
I think that's right.
because you would feel I think you would feel more bad screwing your own partner out like of the money if it's people like don't have a lot of money.
No, totally. It's like Eric. I know. I still don't know who he is, but he like has a music career, and there's a reason he was cast on the famous show. So it's like, yeah, you don't feel bad for the other famous people.
Yeah. So I just feel like he's gonna go down as like another Sari play and like not making his own mark necessarily. But
Rob.
yeah.
Yeah, no, like he deserved to win. He was, and he played a good game, but he did not play like an incredible game. And if he had had better players around him, I don't think he would have won. But
Yeah. I think he got a little lucky. I think it takes a little luck to win all of them, but
no,
a
definitely.
lot of cards fell in his favor for sure. So um, Eric votes for Rob. Rob votes for Eric and says, "Sorry, dude," which at least is honest in the moment.
Yeah,
Mara votes for Eric, and it's like even though it's already over, it's like, girl, come on.
I know. I know.
In confessional, Eric drags Rob a little, and he says, "Money's great, but I believe relationships are more important, and this doesn't feel good." Which I feel like that's true. Like I think about if I were on the show, what would I do? And it's like one thing to betray all of the faithfuls, but to betray people you don't have to betray, I think is a harder line to cross.
Yeah, but again, like Eric didn't earn it. Like he had his chance to play a good game. He didn't do anything to earn it. So I just think, and he joined like at the end after most of the gameplay had already been been done by Rob anyway. So it's just really like,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's fair. Like, I don't
But I
hold it
do
against
think
Rob at
if,
all, but that's just
yeah.
like what I was thinking.
But yeah, if he and someone he liked were traitors from the beginning, played the game together, and then screwed them over in the end, like that's meaner and harder to do.
Agree.
And that would be harder for me to do. I'd probably be like, well, at least I have a friend, and I made a friend and some money,
Yeah.
and watch me get screwed over.
I just know that would happen to me. But you know what? It would be good TV, and that's what my goal would be.
Yes, yes, good.
Okay, so we get to the final reveal, and I've never felt more sick watching a TV show in my life.
It was hard to watch.
And Rob is there, like, smiling. Like, I can't believe he looked like that.
I think it. I don't know. I think he did feel a little guilty. I think it's a little like I don't know. It's exciting. You feel bad.
Yeah,
Like
it's
at this
like
point,
when
he already
you.
knows he won the money.
Yeah. It just gives me, like a immature boy like having to tell his girlfriend he fucked up, and they kind of are
Yeah,
like smiling, like trying to make it like a joke out of it and make light out of it, and it's like, no, you really like screwed up this person who's already traumatized by men.
yes. It's not his
So
fault for what happened to her before the show.
I know, I'm just saying, like,
But
maybe
it was hard to
you could be a
watch.
little more solemn and respectful.
Fair enough.
So Mara says, I'm sorry, I'm a faithful, like a little gag, and he's like, oh no, like, I
Yeah,
hated that when he did that.
I know. I think you don't know how to handle that moment. It was
It's just
awkward.
like, I don't know what he's trying to do. Like, if they told him to, like, really don't show that it's over at all in any way until you say it, maybe. But it just makes me feel more and more bad for her because he's like selling the narrative that we just won together. And then
Yeah,
Rob says, Mara, I am, and I always have been, a traitor. And she just like is stun locked. Like, she has no words to say.
yeah,
And it's like she doesn't even believe him at all still. And he's like, I'm so sorry, I'm a traitor. I'm serious. The whole game I've been a traitor. Um, she's like, oh my God, I'm so stupid. And I want to say, I don't think you're stupid. I think you just got dickmatized like every other gay man who watched the show.
yeah.
She
Totally,
fell for it, and like, it happens.
certainly does.
He tries to explain it to her, and she says, "Don't speak. Please stop talking." I
That was
loved that.
funny. Well, and he is a man who knows what to do, and he says okay, and
Yeah.
does not try to fight her.
Well, what else are you supposed to say? Like, you're clearly in the wrong. Like, you
No,
can't
100%.
like
It's just funny that
argue.
he's obviously like used to being in trouble with women. To your earlier point.
Yes, I'm sure he has. In confessional, she says, "This is why I don't trust anybody ever, because they stab you in the goddamn back." She tells
Well,
Rob,
again, stay off reality TV, and that will happen to you less. Not never, but less.
"Yeah, that's why I just think lesbian arc." Although, to be fair, they like to get messy too. Shout out
Yeah,
lesbians. Love y'all. Um, she tells Rob, "You're never gonna have a girlfriend after this. You're such a good liar."
so
And
funny.
then she says, "I mean, fair play though. If I was a traitor, I would have done the same. No hard feelings. I think I'm just in shock. I really thought I was winning."
I know it's cute and sad.
I'm glad that she's resolving to not hold it against him, even if she doesn't truly
Well,
feel
it
that
was the
way.
game. It was the whole game, and he
Yeah,
was assigned to be a traitor. He didn't choose it, so like he played the game.
she's probably thinking like, "Damn, I should have watched the show."
Correct. Live and learn. This is a lesson for her.
Yeah. And then at the end, she says, he's a bad man. He's a really, really bad man. But good for him.
That was
Rob, you're a fucking snake, but well done. Okay,
it's
I
just
would
funny
like
too. People
to.
keep calling him a snake. He likes snakes. That's not an insult to him.
I know. But it's also kind of like
I
maybe a
know.
double entendre in a way.
Oui, oui.
I would like to personally thank Maura for improving my Scottish accent by getting to watch her throughout the show. I think it no longer sounds
Not mine.
Jamaican, which is huge.
I agree. Give it to us again.
He's a bad man. He's a really, really bad man. But good for him.
He's a bad man. He's a really, really bad man. I don't
Mm,
know if mine got
less
better.
Jamaican, but still a little bit, I think.
Well, I'm thinking we got a traitor in the midst.
That's Cockney.
Uh,
Well, maybe you could
damn.
watch some more of her on Love Island.
I don't need it.
Okay, so post winning, Rob says this, which I didn't catch on the first watch, but he says, would you give $100,000 to someone you just met 3 weeks ago? I wouldn't. And I was like, that's kind of a good point. Like, was he going to split it with Eric?
Yeah, it's just again, if they'd met at the beginning, worked together the whole time, and become friends, like real friends, then I would do it. I think, but in that circumstance, like I would have screwed over Eric too, 100%.
Yeah. Rob says, now I just have to find a nice girl that hasn't watched TV too much. Just
That
funny.
was funny, which is
Um,
true.
and Alan at the end says, bad things will happen to you in the dark if Mara finds you. And Rob says, I hope so,
Ah, classic.
girl. And that's the end.
Well, a good season. It was predictable, but it was overall fun.
It was fun overall. I wish Kristen had won. She's my girl.
Yeah,
I feel
she
bad
was
for
getting there,
Ron.
but to win the game, you have to be clocking it from not the beginning, but like earlier than she did. She did figure it out, but too late, and that's you know, yeah, just the Traitors had too much power, and it was not able to be overcome because you didn't figure it out earlier.
Yeah, I think it's just a really hard game to win as a faithful because you just get knocked out for anything. It's like you're too
Yeah,
dumb, they knock you out. You don't have enough friends, they knock you out. You're too smart, they knock you out.
yeah.
You're
No,
too
you need to get rid of
vocal,
faithfuls to
they
win, even
banish
if you're
you.
a faithful. Yeah. No, I agree. I think it is easier to win as a traitor, but
Yeah.
faithfuls have won before, so
Yeah, but it's like you as an individual, I think is really hard to get to the end because you're going from 23 to 4, and then you're just it's hard. You have less control over your survival than other games.
yeah. No, I agree.
Well, that's it for the finale. Any thoughts on the reunion?
It was boring. It was a flop. It was weird that like they had to include Donna in the Traitors, I guess. But I feel like they should have just brought her out at the end. It's like in the secret traitor Donna. But they brought her out because
Yeah,
they wanted to ask the Taylor Swift question.
she hated that.
Um, I know. Well, she knew it was coming. That's why she's on the show.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the questions got had to get approved ahead of time. But it's like, what is she supposed to say? Like, yeah, Taylor loves it. Okay.
Yeah, she thought Rob was really hot, and she's reconsidering Travis.
Yeah.
Um, I thought that it was funny that, or sad that they put Steven with the group of people who were voted out first, even though he made it really far. They
He
did not
just
give him a
didn't have any
benefit.
storylines, so
Yeah. Um, I thought Candace, she really proved why she lost the game and that she didn't understand it because she really went after Rob in the way that like the Real Housewives do at reunions, which is that it's personal and she didn't have questions about the game. She didn't have any introspection on where she may have gone wrong. We still don't know how it would have worked out, but if when he turned on Lisa, which I do think he needed to do, she should have done the same, and she should have talked to him about it at least. And by just ignoring it and doing whatever, she screwed herself and didn't give him much of a choice either. So that was where Candace messed up, and it was funny and annoying to see her not have any like that. It wasn't clocking her at the reunion.
Yeah, I think it just was like she wasn't aware of what show she was on. You know, like I think Lisa pivoted and made the pivot of not just like arguing for the sake of making arguing content. Like Candace was just trying to like start a fight with him on the reunion, and he was like, "I screwed you over. I won. My strategy worked. Yours did it." And she just like kept trying to like argue with him when there was nothing to argue about.
I know, it was strange. It was strange. Um, yeah, like the reunion was boring. I don't know. I don't have much else.
I really liked the Love Highland segment. It was funny.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah, that was funny.
I do like a
And
clip
it's good in his
montage.
overalls.
His
His
body
body
looked
looked good.
good. His face was giving. Let's work on that.
He just he's in his 50s and he's done a lot of drugs, and it's starting to catch up
Well,
a little bit.
yeah, I didn't want to allege about drug use, but it just is clear it's taking its toll.
I don't think it's allegations because I've read his books and he talks about it.
Oh, well, I don't want
But
to
if
get
it is, then
sued.
it's alleged. Well,
I just
I
feel like
agree.
other older gay men look really good in the face. Like, I think Anderson still looks really good.
Yeah, I agree. But Anderson is not. He's more of a. I don't think he parties the same way.
Yeah, that's why.
I agree.
um, I don't know. Yeah, there wasn't that many memorable moments. I think Tara or Natalie going off on Tara and Johnny via Zoom was funny.
Oh, that was funny. Oh, and the big win was like Mora and Rob have sort of like made up, and he's buying her a Birkin bag with his winnings as his like apology present.
That was kind
So
of awkward because what's his name? Andy was like, "Would you ever date Rob?" And she's like, "Well, let's start with the bag first and go from there."
I
And then
know.
Rob's like, "I'm seeing someone." It's like, "Oh."
It was so funny. I mean, he didn't bring it up. Candace, someone didn't Candace ask?
Someone asked him like, "Are you single?" And he said no.
Yeah.
But it just
Really?
feels
For
like
how
they're
long?
really not on the same
Almost two
page.
months. I know. But almost
Yeah.
2 months did make me laugh because, like, anyways.
That is hilarious. It's like you're not barely seeing anybody.
Well, right. I mean, anyways. Maybe I think in Alabama it works differently, but
Like I would have just said like I met someone special. Like, you know what I mean?
yeah. I know, but he has to be careful, of course, because this girl is going to see this. So,
Maybe. Um yeah, it just seemed clear to me that Natalie was still not over the Tara and Johnny thing. I watched an interview of her and she said like when she was getting banished, she voted for Tara because she didn't want to leave them another breadcrumb for Rob because she was pissed and didn't want them to win, which I thought was hilarious.
yeah. Well, she should have been like Tara screwed her over and screwed the game
Yeah. She said
with
that they didn't
not
deserve to
liking it,
win after what they did. I was like,
which is true.
true, but I think she learned her lesson in the end.
Yeah, but that's the theme of everyone who was decent at the game was they all learned it too late.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I thought was funny is one, like they were obviously like at the Olympics in Milan, and so they couldn't be there in person. But I was like, they probably
Oh,
could
that
be
was so
there. They
funny.
just chose not to to not
Yeah.
have to face her in person.
Yeah.
That and then Michael, what's his name, calling Johnny a silver medalist when he doesn't have a medal is
Oh my
hilarious.
god. That's so funny.
I can't. I feel like they didn't need to bring him back for this reunion.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, who wanted to
I
see what he
agree.
could say? Nobody.
Well, and they kept cutting to him like in the green room talking. It's just like fuck that guy.
Yeah.
I don't know why they keep insist on like shoving him down our throats. Like we don't want it.
Yeah. And I thought Colton had a good point, even though, Colton, which he was like, I thought stuff from outside the show would be off limits at the round table.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, but then what's so funny is Colton finally did. I didn't even read it all. Colton did finally give an interview about what happened with Cassie and the restraining order and stuff. Um,
and
so
is
he
he
did finally realize he had to
vindicated
talk about it.
or
Well, I didn't read
implicated?
it all. I think he's basically saying. Well, first, it's so funny. I know, like, it feels like COVID was not yesterday, but recent. It was now 6 years ago. But he was like, I'm just a completely different person than I was 6 years ago. I'm married. I have a kid, all of which is true. But like 6 years ago is not like that long ago. Like I still feel like I've grown, but I don't feel. I don't know. I guess I'm not on reality TV, so maybe it's just different. But 6 years ago does not feel like I'm a completely different person. It feels like I've grown some. Doesn't feel like I've like transformed.
I mean, I think
But
23 felt very different than 29.
well, how old is Colton?
I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, you could grow in 6 years if you were at a very low level to begin with.
Yeah, but he's 34. He's older than us.
Yeah, but he's on that gay delayed growth timeline.
Yeah. Okay. So in 2020, he was 28. So I just feel like
I mean, I think
I wish him
hurt
well.
people is the saying, right?
They
I think he
do
had a
say
lot
that.
going on up there at that time.
Yes. Um, I'm sending you Wikipedia of Scorpion and the Frog.
Thank you so much. Oh, the other thing I wanted to call back to was like Lisa saying, I just really wanted to get to the black banquet so I could wear that dress, and then I was fine to go home.
Well, that's so funny. She just wants to be on TV. She never thought she was going to win this game. I think she was thrilled she got to be a main character for many episodes. That was always clear to me.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's my goal if I were to get on, is like, I would love to win, but I just want to go and make fun TV and then see what happens.
Yeah, I agree. I agree because the goal, you're unlikely to win that much money. The goal would be to use the platform to. Well, maybe we shouldn't say this since you're trying to get on.
I mean, I just really want to play the game. Like I'm a gamer.
Yes, I
But I think
agree.
it's unrealistic to think like the odds are literally so bad to win. So
Yeah, agreed. Well, thank you all for watching us. We had a great time recapping the show. I really did have fun. I think this was good.
it was fun. Maybe we'll be back for season. I don't know. 5? What season are we on? I think
Season
I should
5.
know these things.
I agree.
And I am
No,
applying to be on the show. So if I do get on the show, then we would definitely be recapping that.
that's true. Oh my god, you should get on, and then we'll do season 5, and I can
That would be
comment
so
on your
fun.
gameplay to your face. Joseph's being a dumb bitch. Like, how is he not seeing?
And then I'll explain that what you see isn't always the truth.
I was like, Joseph, explain.
Me, I'm
All right.
stupid.
Well, yes. Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone. And we'll see you in the future.
Bye.